Hi there, Mrs. Hanson here. I'm going to give a brief tutorial on how I would like the lab reports graded. There are going to be a total of 8 of them in this term, and it's important to have some consistency between the TAs in our grading. So I am just sharing screen. We're at the home screen of our Fall 2021 CHEM 1520. The Week 2 agenda is showing for us. At this point, I'm also going to share screen and provide you with this feedback repository document that I'm going to email as an attachment to you as well. So as you're watching this video tutorial, you might find it helpful to have this document on your screen so you can see where I am copy and pasting into the scoring rubric. I'm going to drag that off my screen right now and put it onto a side screen I have just so it's available for me to copy and paste. So let's begin by clicking the assessments. And just so you know, if you go down and click the Quick Evaluation tab, you're going to see all of the work that has been submitted and queued for grading. If you choose to go in this way, all 73 submissions are going to appear for you one Dropbox at a time. Now, it will not necessarily be in the order of the alphabet. It actually appears in the order that the student submitted. So this may or may not be helpful for you because the alphabet, of course, has been assigned to you and you want to only grade your own students. So instead of using the quick eval, you might find it more helpful to just go from assessments to grades. And in this particular screen, you can open Dropboxes for students directly for whom you are assigned. Now the Dropbox, of course, will contain a document and you will know it's queued for grading by just seeing an orange dot. I'm going to give an example of the first, just clicking that Dropbox and it will open, and this is our view. Now this particular student has submitted a document and I just wanted to talk through how I would go about grading. First, I'm going to click open the lab report scoring rubric. And you will see listed the criteria, the title, the synopsis, the learning objectives, the theory, and the reflection. Recall that students have been provided in their syllabus, as well as in many other places, how to write a lab report. And so when I created my feedback repository, just common paragraphs, common things to share, this is the tool I used, and that's where I'm finding these rubrics. All right, so all of that's been preloaded for you. In the first repository, it's talking about the title. And in this section, I said title. If missing, you need to make a comment. And that comment I want you to make says, please help maximize your points by including your title at the top of the page. If you see a title, no comment is necessary. I see a title at the top of this document, so I'm just going to click level 4, the highest maximum points, and you can see a 2 out of 2 has been awarded for this student's title. The next criteria says synopsis. Neuron is a synapse. A synopsis is a kind of just that section that is asking us to look from the worksheet, and you want to make sure that they've provided a detailed synopsis incorporating descriptions of all tasks. So if you don't have that worksheet in front of you, you might want to find that. So just to kind of emphasize what I'm referring to, you know that that lab manual has been provided for you in each of your modules. So just to kind of share what the worksheet is, just in case we need a reminder, in Module 2, liquid extraction, the very first link here is giving you an idea of questions they might have asked. This is the lab manual that I'm referring to. It's often helpful to have this out. The synopsis is just this summary of this particular literature, and I wanted to emphasize that you need to check for plagiarism. This is supposed to be a summary of their own words, not just copy and pasted. So we need to look to see that they've mastered the separatory funnel and summarized this paragraph. Learn from your mistakes, summarize this paragraph. Use practice to learn theory and kind of just summarize in this paragraph. So as you look at this particular lab, I'm looking at the synopsis as a one sentence, and that's not very significant, is it? That one sentence is not a complete summary of all of that information of the synopsis. So looking at my feedback repository, if I saw this as a high quality, a medium quality, or a poor quality, I view that one sentence synopsis as a poor quality. So this is the feedback I would let them, I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste into the scoring rubric. So I just copy, and a scoring rubric, I think this is very minimal. I'm calling it a level 1. And in the feedback, I'm just going to paste. Your synopsis provided minimal descriptions and lacks the depth and detail. Challenge yourself to add richness to this section by creating a well-constructed paragraph that details all the tasks in the lab and how you will accomplish them. So I'm letting them know that this is poor quality. I want to see a paragraph that truly reflects what's happening in the lab. And again, ask yourself, all of this information under synopsis, did they address any of it? No. I mean, a one-sentence summary is not a good paragraph. So that's just the idea there, is making sure they see that you want a paragraph. The next section is your learning objectives. Notice that the learning objectives, this looks like the wrong one. Here we are. The learning objectives, they may be copied, just a copy and paste. So as you look at the learning objectives from the lab manual, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them for this lab. I just want you to make sure that as you grade that person's report, they have all 8 of those learning objectives perfect. So I'm going to give them full credit on the learning objective section. Now again, in my feedback repository, it simply says, are they all there? No comment needed. If they're missing, make this comment. Help me maximize your points by including all listed learning goals from the lab manual. You may copy these directly. So this particular person had them all, so we're all set, full credit. The next part is the theory section. Now in this part, the theory comes from the section in your lab called Theory. This is a picture that they should have included the separatory funnel, and then they're going to just reflect on all of these processes in the theory. Filling, shaking, venting, stopcock, stopper, predict the current phase in which the caffeine is in solution. We're looking for a summary of all of these concepts, not copy-paste, but they had to summarize in their own words this particular section. So let's see what this student did. I do see some pictures. That's excellent. The theory summarizes the separating funnel, and this student, I don't know if it's anyway, the student said, as I'm just kind of briefly reading, this is a perfect summary of the separatory funnel. She talks about the stopcock and places a picture. This is beautiful. Here's the stopper, includes a picture. And I also see her telling us a little bit about the procedure she used and how they will accomplish it. I like this theory. It's in her own words. All parts are included. In terms of my repository, I like this as being a high quality. So I'm going to just copy and paste the high quality. Here's me copying. And then in the feedback section under theory, I'll give full credit. And in feedback, I'm going to place excellent. You have presented a very detailed description of each presented topic. You've included diagrams and pictures as appropriate. I could easily read and understand the theory from your paragraph. And the last part, which I think is truly most important, is the reflection. And on this particular report, the reflection begins here. Throughout the lab, I learned many valuable things, but the main thing I learned was how to safely and effectively use a separation funnel. Going into the lab, I did not know what a separatory funnel was, but now I do. So I'm just kind of reading through. I like this part too. I'm still not quite sure about the actual experiment. It helped me learn to use a low pressure environment. I used Dr. One's help. This is a very thorough reflection. So again, here's the criteria in my repository. As you read the reflection, I have a high quality, which counts as a 250 word count goal. All I mean by 250 words is it depth? Does it lack depth or does it have it? So they've met the 250 word. They have discussed what was learned. They have discussed any unanswered questions, how to apply the lessons carrying forward. I found no spelling or grammar errors. Well done. So this is what I'm going to choose to copy and paste. If you believe it was medium quality, or if it were minimal quality, you have copy and paste feedback you can place depending on how you view their reflection. Here's the criteria for level 4. Notice when I hover over the rubric that the criteria appears. So level 4, all of those things that are grammar correct, spelling correct, and so forth. I believe this does. I'm going to add feedback by simply copy paste from my repository document. Notice their total score has now appeared, 75 out of 100. So do we believe this was a C level overall? And I would say, I'm going to go back and reflect. No, I really don't think it was a C overall. Maybe this was too harsh. The synopsis of the lab was minimal, but it was present. I could say I could give them as a level 2, that's 5 out of 25, or I can give them a level 3, 17 out of 25, or a level 4, 25 out of 25. Since the synopsis was not complete, and I don't think the overall presentation was a C, I'm going to play with that rubric until I get the overall grade where I think it should be. A 92, I don't think this is an A paper. So I'm going to go back up to that section that was not meeting the full criteria for credit, the synopsis of the lab, and now I see it as an 80. I want to emphasize that as you view this particular lab, what do you feel the overall grade should be? Because you don't have to stick with just a click. I really think an 80 is too low, but I don't think it's an A paper either. So I'm going to choose to give her a B+, and I'm just going to type in the overall grade to match the feel of what I want it to be. And then down here, I am going to say detailed feedback provided in scoring rubric for you to view. And then what I like to do is actually type my name so they know who graded it. So as a TA, underneath that, you will type your name so they know the author of the person grading. Then I'm going to hit publish. And I'm done grading that particular paper. Go back to your class list and you can go on to the next one. And then one by one, you'll finish grading your particular labs. If you have any questions, please reach out. I'll be sending this video along with the detailed feedback repository to you shortly.